I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest transfer rumours that are currently going on in the press. As I did say, not long now until the currently January transfer window ends, as we all currently know. So give you a bit of an update on a bit of more transfer rumours that are going on in the press today. We'll give you a bit of an update regarding Callum Hudson-Odoi, as we all know, and we'll give you some more news on what's going on elsewhere in the media as well. So we'll cut straight to chase and get onto the topic of the development regarding Callum Hudson-Odoi. So potentially we know there's strong speculation of him currently leaving. It is probably likely that Callum Hudson-Odoi is going to leave Chelsea in this January transfer window. Due to the lack of game time he's been getting at Chelsea in the Premier League. I think he's only produced 61 minutes of Premier League football this season. Only 18 years of age as well. From Chelsea's perspective, Chelsea do want to keep Callum Hudson-Odoi, at the team. Chelsea do want to keep him, but from the player's perspective, he's demanded that he does want to leave. He leaves this week sometime, or he leaves in the summer, because obviously it's not long now until the January transfer window ends, as we all currently know. But Callum Hudson-Odoi, Chelsea were willing to offer him a new contract with around £80,000 a week. He has refused this contract extension as Callum Hudson-Odoi. His current deal ends in 2020. Does Callum Hudson-Odoi, but he hasn't been getting game time this season. Callum Hudson-Odoi, he's been in and out of the team, and he's hardly played this season, so he's going to struggle, to get into that team. He's going to struggle for first team football. Is Callum Hudson-Odoi, and he's going to be set to leave Chelsea, but reportedly Chelsea don't want to, to let him leave. But from his perspective, he's asked Chelsea. He wants Chelsea to let him leave, and he actually does want to make the move to Bayern Munich. Does this Callum Hudson-Odoi, but he's only 18 years of age, and a player like him, that has got good physical attributes. He wants first team football week in, week out, and he's not going to be guaranteed it at Chelsea. Obviously now, of course, they've confirmed the signing of Gonzalo Higuain. Pulisic is coming in the new season as well to Stamford Bridge. Now the sign of Gonzalo Higuain, obviously, that's going to allow Eden Hazard to go back on the left-hand side as well, so he's going to be getting put back in his favoured position, as we all currently know. But regarding Callum Hudson-Odoi, anyway, reportedly he's come out in the press that Bayern Munich have held negotiations with Chelsea over this. Bayern Munich are preparing a fresh bid in the region of around £40 million. Well, initially Chelsea's valuation was around £35 million that they did, I think, around one for him. I think this is now Bayern Munich's fifth bid in the process, of Callum Hudson-Odoi, because I think previously he had 3 bids turned down. They come up with a fourth bid around £35 million, but Bayern Munich are now preparing a £40 million bid for Callum Hudson. It did allegedly say that Bayern Munich had reportedly offered him the number 10 shirt to full at Bayern Munich, because Bayern Munich are looking to get some young players into their team, that can grow and develop, because Bayern Munich have got aging up players in their squad. They've got Ribéry, who's set to leave in the summer. They've got not Ribéry, Robin, who's set to leave in the summer. They've got Ribéry aging up. They've got Lewandowski that's aging up. So they want to get a couple of young players into their team to Bayern Munich, and they've been interested in quite a few young players of Bayern Munich, as we all know. It also confirmed, Liverpool had reportedly showed an interest in Callum Hudson-Odoi. Liverpool had actually approached his representatives. Reportedly they had approached his representatives at Liverpool. They'd approached his representatives, but it's unlikely he's going to be going to Liverpool anyway. And Liverpool have invested in the last couple of seasons, to be quite honest with you. They were the biggest spenders last summer. They spent £171 million. Liverpool have still got a few interest in a couple of players. Obviously, they're going for the league this season. Liverpool, they haven't won it all in all, for 28 years. As we all know, he has got the experience as Klopp of winning a couple of titles, when he was at Dortmund and all that. But as I currently said, I don't think Liverpool won't make any signings in this January transfer window. But there's still a few young players, that Liverpool have showed an interest in, as we all know, such as Timo Werner and Steven Bergwijn. Liverpool have been interested in him as well. But yeah, Callum Hudson-Odoi is going to be set to leave Chelsea, as we all currently know. So it says Liverpool have also been interested in. It's also come out in the press as well, saying that reportedly RP Leipzig have now showed an interest in Callum Hudson-Odoi, reportedly. It's come out in the press saying that RP Leipzig now have showed an interest in Callum Hudson-Odoi, reportedly. RP Leipzig are willing to reportedly offer him £20 million, which won't be enough to convince Chelsea, to actually sell him. But reportedly, RP Leipzig are willing to offer him a buyback clause, in the current deal. Reportedly, this is maybe what Chelsea want, but I think they will accept Bayern Munich's offer, which is going to be around £40 million in the process for Callum Hudson-Odoi. So potentially, that's the latest news on that. Obviously, there's more news to update you regarding a bit of news going on as well. Morata has yet to complete his switch to Atletico Madrid, because obviously we know he hasn't lived up to expectation levels, since he's gone to Stamford Bridge. Chelsea paid, what, £60 million for him, and Chelsea have obviously got that replacement now for Alvaro Morata, with Gonzalo Higuain, as we all know, because Morata's been struggling for goals. Also, Olivier Giroud has been struggling for goals in Chelsea's front line, as we all currently know. But according to the media, he did say actually Chelsea had agreed a deal with Atletico Madrid that Morata is going to be going to Atletico Madrid on loan. Then Atletico Madrid do have the option to make the deal permanent in the summer for around £48 million, or something like that. But reportedly, this has been delayed due to Monaco, because Monaco have got problems, because obviously confirmed that obviously Thierry Henry has just been sacked as Monaco manager, because I think they're in the relegation zone, and they have reappointed Leonardo Jardim of Monaco. So this is why this is a huge part why it's being delayed. Morata going to Atletico Madrid. So it has been delayed due to Monaco's sacking of Thierry Henry, and also, as we all know, Atletico Madrid are to offload Gelson Martins, so Morata can go to Atletico Madrid, because reportedly Gelson Martins is actually favoured to go join Monaco on loan. Reportedly, Gelson Martins has struggled for game time, since he's been at Atletico Madrid. He's only been at Atletico Madrid since July as Gelson Martins. Obviously, they got him from Sporting Lisbon, as we all know. I think Newcastle had made inquiries about getting Gelson Martins, reportedly, but it's looking like he's going to be set to join Monaco on loan, according to the press. And then once that happens, that will allow then Morata to join Atletico Madrid on loan. But Morata, as I said, has been very, very poor this season. As I currently said, he's been very, very poor. He hasn't been number one under Sarri. Morata, he's been struggling for goals. He's cost Chelsea a lot of points this season as Alvaro Morata. He's cost Chelsea a lot of points, and he's failed to emulate what he did at the likes of Real Madrid. Because he spent a number of years at Real Madrid. He spent most of his playing career there. As a senior player. He had 2 good years with Juventus as well. Don't forget as well, and he's failed to replicate that form at Stamford Bridge. So potentially, he has been a disappointment at Stamford Bridge as Alvaro Morata. Reportedly, he did say he was willing to take a pay cut as well to join Atletico Madrid, because that's actually Alvaro Morata's boyhood club, is Atletico Madrid, as we all know. But it's been a bit of a delay at the moment. I still think in the process it will go through, that Gelson Martins will go to Monaco on loan, and then Morata will go, to Atletico Madrid, reportedly. But it's been a bit of a delay because Henry, obviously, has just been sacked from Monaco. I think he only won, 5 games out of 20, or something like that. So yeah, Thierry Henry has been sacked. This is why the Morata, situation has been a delay of going to Atletico Madrid. But reportedly, Chelsea and Atletico Madrid have already come to an agreement, as we all know, over this. But obviously, if Morata has been struggling to score goals, but I think, Chelsea have got a player now that's going to guarantee them goals. He's going to score them goals, Gonzalo Higuain, because he's a proven goal scorer. He's Gonzalo Higuain, as we all currently know. He's proven it in the majority of his playing career. He did it at Real Madrid. He had 6 good years, scored 107 goals in 190 appearances. He had 3 fantastic years with Napoli as well, scored 36 goals in 1 season and broke the Serie A record. He had 2 fantastic years with Juventus as well, scored 40 goals in 2 seasons, as we all know, for Juventus. He had a good start at AC Milan, and then it went downhill, so he didn't really do that well at AC Milan, Gonzalo Higuain. But I do think he's going to do really, really well for Chelsea, because Sarri knows him. He's no Sarri, because they have worked together in the past, as we all currently know. And I think he's going to fit Chelsea's team very, very well. I think he's going to flourish. He is age 31 now, so he is old. He's Gonzalo Higuain, but I still think he'll score goals for Chelsea. He'll lead the lines, and that was one of the key areas where Sarri wanted to strengthen up was his front line. And I think Gonzalo Higuain, will do very, very well. Chelsea have got him on an initial 6-month loan deal. It probably likely will develop into a further 12 months. Chelsea, I think, would have to pay around £15-16 million to develop it into a further 12 months. This is if he does meet key targets, I think. I think his weekly wages are going to be around £270,000 a week. Gonzalo Higuain's, something like that. But Chelsea do have the option to make the deal permanent by Chelsea do have the option to make the deal permanent by paying around 30 odd million pounds. I think it's around 36 million pounds, something like that. He is going to be fulfilling that number 9 role, as I said, and he's set to make his debut tomorrow. So it will be interesting to see, how he performs. But he is a proven prolific goal scorer. He's proven it, mainly everywhere he's been, and Sarri knows him, and he's no Sarri. And hopefully, Sarri wants him to bring Chelsea goals, because Chelsea have been lacking goals, this season, and especially, recently as well. And I think he'll definitely guarantee them goals, to be quite honest with you. And I think they've had a good January transfer window, to be quite honest with you. And this obviously now will allow Eden Hazard to go back on the left-hand side, as I currently said, where his favourite position is, because obviously Eden Hazard has been mainly playing in a false 9, as I said. But there's still strong speculation, that Eden Hazard, could potentially, leave Chelsea. There's still strong speculation that Eden Hazard could leave Chelsea. Eden Hazard, as I said, he's a very, very good player, and he's the third best player in the Premier League, behind Salah and Kevin De Bruyne. As we all know, he's Eden Hazard. He's scored over 100 odd goals for Chelsea. He's been there since 2012, so he has grown and developed very, very well. As we all know, his current deal ends in 2020. Chelsea have been in contract talks of getting him a new contract. He did admit after the World Cup last summer he did want to leave Stamford Bridge. Eden Hazard, and we know that he's linked with a move to Real Madrid. As we all know, but he hasn't ruled himself out making a move to Madrid. But he still may stay at Chelsea, so his future is still uncertain. Eden Hazard, as we all currently know, but he's a very, very good player, as I currently said. And obviously, Chelsea, obviously, are still in the market, for a replacement for Fabregas. As I said, obviously now they have missed out on Leandro Paredes, because as I did say, it was looking very, very likely, that Leandro Paredes was going to Stamford Bridge at one point, because Chelsea had held negotiations with Zenit St. Petersburg over this. But reportedly, Chelsea had actually agreed personal terms, had agreed a contract to get the player. No fee had been agreed, because Zenit were demanding they wanted around £36 million for Leandro Paredes, and Chelsea had seen him as a good replacement, for Cesc Fabregas. But Leandro Paredes, I think, has gone to PSG, or he's on the verge of going to PSG, because PSG, I think, have agreed a fee of around £35-36 million for the player, and I think he's set to sign a 4.5-year deal with Paris Saint-Germain, because Paris Saint-Germain do want reinvestments in their midfield, because they've just got, the Verratti out. Adrien Rabiot's obviously set to leave the club as well. So, they could see Leandro Paredes, as a good replacement, for Adrien Rabiot. But Chelsea would be disappointed about that, because it was looking like Chelsea were going to get him. Chelsea had 2 bids turned down from Zenit St. Petersburg, as we all know. As I said, he's only 24 years of age, so he's still got years ahead of him, to grow and develop. He's done well for Zenit. Zenit got him from Roma for £24 million. His boyhood club was Boca Juniors, this Zenit midfielder, and it was looking likely he was going to be going to Chelsea. But that's not the case now. He's going to be going to Paris Saint-Germain, so potentially Chelsea have missed out on him, and obviously they want a backup for Jorginho as well. So they will be disappointed about that, will Chelsea. This point about that will Chelsea. But other news to update you on as well, to keep you up to date on Timo Werner, the current RP Leipzig forward, as I currently said. According to the German press, reportedly, from RP Leipzig's perspective, they do want to keep Timo Werner, because there has actually been quite a few teams interested in Timo Werner, reportedly. Liverpool have actually been linked with the player. Bayern Munich have also expressed their interest in Timo Werner, because he's a proven, a prolific goal scorer. Is Timo Werner. Did very, very well in the World Cup last summer with Germany as well. Only 22 years of age. He scored about, 59 goals, for RP Leipzig. I think he's been at RP Leipzig about, 2.5, 3 seasons now he's been at RP Leipzig, Timo Werner. But according to the German press, reportedly RP Leipzig are willing to double his wages, to keep him at RP Leipzig. They're willing to double his wages, and I think they're keen on getting him a new contract. And if in the process, if they do get him this new contract, it could include around the 61 million release clause in the new contract, reportedly. But potentially, he did say earlier on. It did say, was it last month, that he could have been available for around £36 million, Timo Werner. Liverpool have strongly expressed their interest in the player, reportedly, because Liverpool have done business with RP Leipzig in the past, because obviously, they got Naby Keita, didn't they, from RP Leipzig. But it has said Bayern Munich have been interested in him. It did say a few other teams have been in Timo Werner as well. Liverpool have actually have instructed scouts, to keep a close eye on Timo Werner. So Liverpool have instructed scouts, to keep monitoring the player, as I said, Timo Werner. But I don't think Liverpool will make any signs in this January window anywhere. But Timo Werner is a proven prolific goal scorer, only 22 years of age, and it would be good for him, to experience the Premier League, Timo Werner. As I said, it really would be good for him, to experience the Premier League. Actually used to play for Stuttgart. He was the youngest player to actually represent Stuttgart when he's young in his prime, youngest goal scorer ever there. As I said, made his senior debut, of course, in 2013. Potentially, I think he made over 100 odd appearances, when he was at Stuttgart, when he was young in his prime. Wasn't so good at Stuttgart, but since he's gone to RP Leipzig, he's grown in confidence, he's grown and developed, and he's turned into a, prolific striker. And he's only 22 years of age, as I said. And actually, he's actually become the youngest player to reach 100 and 150 Bundesliga appearances, as well as this Timo Werner. But there has been news coming out about that in the media as well. Steven Bergwijn as well, a bit of a Manchester United update that reportedly Man United want to keep informed, of what's going on with Steven Bergwijn, because reportedly Manchester United have instructed scouts, to keep a close eye on Steven Bergwijn. Reportedly, a few teams have been interested in him. Liverpool have been interested in him. I think Bayern Munich have been interested in Steven Bergwijn as well. 21-year-old Dutch player. Reportedly, his performances for PSV have been very, very good. He actually graduated from Ajax's youth academy because he used to play for Ajax when he was a lot younger in his prime. Did the play Steven Bergwijn. PSV can play on each wing, under contract till 2022. But actually, I think he's rated at around £25 million. Is this Steven Bergwijn, but reportedly Manchester United have reportedly been interested in him, as I said. But going back to, as I do think, potentially we probably won't make any signings, in this January transfer window, to quite honestly, because we still need to sort players' contracts out. Obviously, we're still, looking to hire a director of football to come into the club, as we all know. And as Ed Woodward did confirm, before he commits to any future signings, he does want to get a director of football into the club, as we all currently know. But, Solskjaer did confirm, that the contract negotiations are progressing with the likes of De Gea, Martial, and Juan Mata and all that. But Solskjaer's the right man for this job at Manchester United. He's the right man. He's brought the fear factor back to the club. He's brought the confidence back to the club, as we all know. He's brought everything. He's brought the fluidity. He's brought fluidity into the team. He's got Pogba. Pogba's getting the freedom to express himself. The front men are getting the freedom, to interchange, closer together. We're getting fullbacks higher up the pitch. I think we'll look very, very effective in that midfield, with Herrera, Matic and Pogba, as we all currently know. And we really have got a good squad, because we spent over £400 million, don't forget, on that team, as we all currently know. And yeah, so potentially we do feel as though we still may need signings. We do need a central defender. We need a centre defensive midfield that's fast and tenacious, as I said, a CDM. We need someone on the right, because the majority of the attack is coming from the left, as we all currently know. But now Solskjaer, 8 wins out of 8. You really wouldn't have predicted it, would you? Well, 6 of them games you thought, you would have thought we would have won anywhere. But we've beat Arsenal, we beat Tottenham away from home, we beat Arsenal away from home, in the FA Cup. And obviously our objective this season is obviously to get in that top 4 position, as we all know. That objective to get to the top 4, to get back into the Champions League next season. I don't want to win the Champions League, to be quite honest, because there's too many good teams in it. But I think we've got a great chance at the FA Cup, as we all know, now that we've knocked Arsenal out. There's a few teams going for the top 4, in the league, as we all know. We're going for it, Arsenal going for it. I don't think Arsenal are going to get it, because they're not good enough. And obviously, Arsenal have obviously got a board, have obviously, got an owner that's not investing any money into the club, and they're only restricted to loan signings. And obviously, Umrembe is obviously inheriting a bad squad, and he's inheriting, their bad financial situations. Arsenal, as I said, Arsenal need signings, and they do need to invest into their club, and they're not. I don't think they will get the top 4. Arsenal, to be quite honest with you. But there's a few teams in it. As I said, I think Chelsea will probably, get the top 4. Chelsea could still potentially get 3rd, to be quite honest, because they've had a good win on this January window. I know Tottenham are in there as well, but obviously now with Tottenham losing, Harry Kane through injury and Dele Alli through injury, that could be a bad effect on Tottenham's team. I think Son is due to come back from international duty as well. But Tottenham have been very, very consistent, but they have lost 2 of the stars of Harry Kane and Dele Alli, so that could be a very, very bad blower for Tottenham, as I said. But yeah, it'd be a remarkable achievement, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can get us the FA Cup this season, and get us the top 4, that would be a remarkable achievement. And obviously now Solskjaer's got to be the number one, to get the job now on a full-time basis. He's got to be the number one because he doesn't rest on his laurels. He shows that inspiration. He's got the players expressing themselves. He's got the players enjoying football again. We've scored 22 goals in 8 games, as we all know, and he's getting the best out of the players. Is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's tactically right. He knows what he's doing. His game plan's absolutely spot on as well. Is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's, and he knows what he's doing because he's got confidence into the team. He's got the team. He's got confidence into the team. He's got the team motivated. He's brought fluidity back into the team. He's just brought everything back into the team, and he has brought the Alex Ferguson days back into this team. So the glory days are returning to Manchester United. Which is very, very good to see. Indeed, and he knows everything about this club, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he won trophies when he was managing the Man United reserve team. When he watched some of the players grow and develop, some of the in the reserve team, he won honours as a player as well under Alex Ferguson, as we all know. So he knows everything about the club. He knows the traditions of the club, and he knows the culture of the club. He knows everything about this club, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So I think now he should be the number one, to get the job on a full-time basis. So 8 wins out of 8 performances. We're playing very, very well, as I said. The players do want to play for him. He's brought belief back to the team. He's brought the fear factor back to the club. And now we are seeing the old Man United, what we saw under Ferguson for 27 great, fantastic years of success, as we all know. Maybe we are still a year at least off winning the league because we do need a couple of signings. But I think, next season, he can elevate us to a high level and get us back up there competing with the likes of City and Liverpool up there. He can do that, can Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I believe him, he'll do that. And hopefully get us competing for silverware again, as I said. But yeah, obviously we know the club. Obviously, before we commit to any future signings, as I currently said, potentially he wants to hire a director of footballing. Does Ed Woodward, as he has confirmed, he wants to hire a director of footballing. His number one choice is Paul Mitchell, as we all know. We know that he's been mentioned. We know that obviously Andrea Berta, the Atletico Madrid sporting director, has also been mentioned as well. There's been a few candidates being named, as I said. Paul Mitchell's reportedly Ed Woodward's number one. Reportedly, there were talks in the press the other week about Edwin van der Sar fulfilling the role, but then it dropped out, so that won't be happening as well. But I think, Paul Mitchell has got the experience. He's been head of recruitment at Tottenham and Southampton in the past. He's now at RP Leipzig. RP Leipzig are keen on signing him a new contract with RP Leipzig and offering him a bigger role at the course. But he's obviously got a good relationship with Mauricio Pochettino because he's worked with Mauricio Pochettino, being responsible for quite a few of their signings, such as JJ Lovren, and Mane, and at Tottenham, Dele Alli and Toby Alderweireld and all that. As Paul Mitchell, and he's actually born in Manchester. Is Paul Mitchell, as we all currently know, born in Manchester, as I said. So Manchester United reportedly, that's been Eddie Woodward's number one target. We know Andrea Berta, however you pronounce his name, has been mentioned as well. He's a head of recruitment at Atletico Madrid. He's one of the key. He's the key to Atletico Madrid's recent success. As we all know, as I said, Atletico Madrid want to keep him. They've been in talks of offering him a new contract and offering him a bigger role at the club. But again, Andrea Berta has got experience as well. He's got the experience as well. So we do need someone who's got the experience to fulfill that director's role. And Paul Mitchell's got it. Andrea Berta's got it as well because he's done a fantastic job at Atletico Madrid, and he has been responsible for some of the signs of the likes of Griezmann. He's been responsible for the signs of the likes of, like Griezmann and Diego Costa and Falcao and Jordan Blanca and all that. So they are two potential, candidates we've looked at. I think we've also looked at the Juventus director as well. So before we commit to any future signings, we obviously want to get a director of footballer to come into the club, as I said. But yeah, looking very, very good under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We look organised, looked energetic, and we look very, very good indeed. As I said, so Solskjaer, should get the job on a full-time basis, as I said. We know we've still got players coming to the end of the contract, that we do need to address out, as we all know. But as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did confirm, he's convinced that we'll get new deals for De Gea, Martial and all that, and, Juan Mata, which is good to see. But yeah, I hope we can get, new deals for them, as I currently said. Well, let's see if I find something. Work there. Work there, guys. So hopefully we can get new deals for them. But going back to the fantastic performance we showed against Arsenal yesterday in the FA Cup, as we all currently know, it was a great performance, as we all know, for Manchester United. And it wasn't even our best 11 yesterday against Arsenal, as we all currently know. It wasn't even our best 11 because obviously Lukaku and Sanchez started up front, and obviously we know recently it's been Martial and Rashford that have been Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first choice, as we all know. So he did rotate a bit in the front line, so it is good. He was talking, he was going to give everybody the chance. Solskjaer, he's going to rotate, give youth the chance as well, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer obviously confirmed. But it was a 3-1 win, a very good result for us, considering that Arsenal at the Emirates this season, prior to that result, had been doing very well, at the Emirates, as I currently said. But, obviously we know De Gea wasn't in that as well, so De Gea didn't travel, so we had to put Sergio Romero in that as well. But I just thought we were a better team. I thought Arsenal's effort there, I thought Arsenal looked good attackably, but, they wasn't disciplined at the back and looked very shambolic defensively, did Arsenal. I think what killed their momentum in the game was, losing Socrates in the first half. That's what killed Arsenal off. Obviously they lost Koscielny as well in the second half with an incident with Lukaku. I think, Lukaku I think he put his studs in his face. Obviously it wasn't intended, but I think it was something like that. So there was a big 10-minute debate on that as well. But we performed very well. As I said, I think, Pogba probably was the man of the match. I think, the way Jai's forward in that midfield causes problems. And I think Paul Pogba's progression since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming has been absolutely fantastic. As we all currently know, it's been absolutely fantastic. As I said, you saw him loads of times galloping forward, feeding players through, feeding, his passing were good, but he was feeding the likes of Lukaku and Sanchez. And Lingard was Paul Pogba, as we all know. And Pogba was absolutely fantastic because he cut Arsenal wide open, did Paul Pogba, as we all know. And he's been scoring and providing as well. And he's been absolutely fantastic as well. I thought as well Luke Shaw had a good game at left back because obviously he's our first choice left back is Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw had a great game, to be quite honest with you. I thought Lindelof and Baye looked very good as a centre-back partnership. And I think Baye needs to be playing more alongside Lindelof because Baye's been in and out of the team this season. Obviously was suspended recently before as well, but he's been in and out of the team this season, as we all can know. I think Ashley Young's past it now, so I do think we need the right hand side addressing. Maybe I'd probably been Diego Dalot on the right back position, to quite honest, because I think Ashley Young has passed it, to be quite honest with you. But it was a really good performance from Manchester United. I thought we looked very good on the counter attack. I thought the movement of the likes of Lingard, Sanchez, and Romelu Lukaku caused Arsenal's defence all sorts of problems. And as I did say, Arsenal, did have their chances. Sergio Romero made 2 good saves, one from Lacazette and one from Aaron Ramsey. But I thought we looked very good on the counter attack. I thought we looked very disciplined at the back. I thought we defended well, as I currently said. But, the first goal, as I currently said, very good indeed. Lovely pass from Lukaku. And it was good to see, Lukaku get 2 assists in that game. And, that was very good to see indeed. Lukaku get 2 assists. Lukaku played a lovely ball for Sanchez's first goal. Sanchez went round the keeper and Sanchez finished it off and that was 1-0. And that was against his ex-team as well. Because obviously, it's still going to be hard for Sanchez and Lukaku, to get into the team above Martial and Rashford from now on. It's still going to be hard, as I currently said. But, they did make the impact in the game because Lukaku got 2 assists. Sanchez got his name on the score sheet as well. But it was a lovely finish from Sanchez. And then 2 minutes later, a lovely movement, lovely flowing move, lovely counter attack. Lukaku gets the ball, plays another precise pass, and Lingard finishes off, and that was 2-0. And we obviously we caused problems for Arsenal at the back because we exposed their naive defence, as we all know, with the quality of what we've got up front, as I said. But yeah, good finish from Jesse Lingard, and that was 2-0 at Manchester United. And then, we were very confident. Arsenal did get themselves back in the game, as I said. And that's the only time I think we should have defended better. We should have defended better with that. Ramsey was the architect of it. And I thought Ramsey did have a good game, to be quite honest with you. Ramsey put it into the box. Lacazette got the touch, and it was simple tapping, for Aubameyang, and that was 2-1. And then potentially, I think then Arsenal, started to play a little bit, when it got to 2-1. But obviously, our boys' heads didn't rest. We still carried on going and going and going.
I think for the Aubameyang goal, guys, to be quite honest with you, I think for the Aubameyang goal, I think potentially we should have done better defensively. But Aubameyang's played well this season, and Lacazette, and they have been a good, fantastic partnership this season for Arsenal because they have been scoring goals and they have, been leading the lines. I did say if there was going to be any threat, I knew it was going to be them two that were going to cause us problems. But they didn't really do that because they looked good on the attack, but defensively they were just very, very poor. There was effort, but I think overall in the match we was the better team. Second half comes obviously. 10-minute debate with Koscielny, as I said, he came off. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer brought Martial, brought Rashford on. Jones came on as well in the game as well. And Martial come off the bench and made 3-1. And, Paul Pogba was part to play for that. The way Jai's forward in midfield's unbelievable. Had a shot, Petr Cech saved it, and then Martial running and then made it a 3-1, as we all currently know. And that was game match settled 1, as we all currently know. But great performance of Manchester United it was. We are back now. The fear factor's back now. And obviously we look forward to Burnley on Tuesday. Should be another 3 points. As I said, I think, Burnley and Leicester are the next two. As we all currently know. But yeah, we are, it's a very, very good win. That's probably Arsenal's worst performance at the Emirates, especially, this season. I thought Arsenal would have put more of a fight, to be quite honest with you. They did put the effort in because they did have chances of their own. They did get bodies in decent positions, attackably. But as I said, it's a defence that let Arsenal down because they were shambolic. And Socrates was a bad blow for them. That killed Arsenal's momentum in the game because potentially he's one of their best defenders at the moment. And don't forget, Arsenal have still got a lot of long-term absences, injured as well. So that was a problem for them as well. Ozil did come on in the second half, as I currently said, but Ozil has been strong speculation of him leaving Arsenal, as we all currently know. There's been strong speculation of him leaving. So whether he leaves or not, I do not know. But he hasn't really been in contention this season. He's on £350,000 a week. He's obviously Arsenal's highest paid player. And obviously the know Ramsey's going to be going. And I think Arsenal will miss Aaron Ramsey because he's been a good servant for them over the years. As we all know, Arsenal paid, £5 million for him from Cardiff. And he's gone, develops very, very well. And when he's playing, he proves that he can still play well, Aaron Ramsey. He proves that he can play well, Aaron Ramsey, as we all know. But obviously he's set to go to Juventus summer on a free transfer, is Aaron Ramsey. But obviously Aaron Ramsey's already signed a pre-contract agreement deal. He's the second highest paid player with Juventus, is Aaron Ramsey, as we all currently know. But Arsenal obviously have got a lot of problems. They've got financial restrictions. They can only get loan signs this January window. So this is a transition season for Arsenal. And obviously their best hopes of a trophy now is the Europa League. And obviously I think Chelsea is still in the Europa League. As I currently said. But yeah, great result for Manchester United, as I said. As I did say, we've still got players coming to the end of the contracts, as we all know. We know we're being linked with the likes of Koulibaly to come to Old Trafford and Eder Militao. We're being linked with Milan Skriniar. We're being linked with throughout this January transfer window. We have been linked with a lot of players, as we all currently know as well. But yeah, I think, the signings will probably, happen in the summer, this summer now, because obviously we're recruiting to get a director of football in. And I think, Solskjaer deserves a job on a full-time basis, as I said. But yeah, I think we're going to get Paul Pogba a new contract. I think the board is set to discuss. I think Raiola is set to discuss with the board, in February of getting Pogba a new contract because he does want a new contract. There's strong speculation of him leaving when Jose Mourinho's in charge because he didn't get on with Jose Mourinho, Paul Pogba, and this team weren't playing for Man United team was just not playing for Jose Mourinho. Same with Anthony Martial as well. I think we're going to get a deal over the line for him as well. Martial's been very, very good this season, only 23 years of age as well. Anthony Martial. I think he's demanding. He wants around £150,000 a week. 5-year deal it's going to be, as we all currently know. Signed and activated a 12-month extension on his current contract last year. Strong speculation of him leaving last year as well, because he had a bad relationship with Jose Mourinho, and plus his agent was pessimistic, that he was pessimistic about him signing a new long-term deal. But it's looking likely, Martial is going to sign a new deal at the club. And I hope we can get, Herrera a new contract because I think he's played a big part, at Manchester United, under Herrera, to Carney. So I think he's been fantastic for Man United under Herrera. I think he's been good since Louis van Gaal got him into the club. Obviously, he's becoming more of a regular now. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming under Herrera. He's playing really, really well. He complements our midfield and he's getting more, time from the start. as we all know, is Ander Herrera, so he's playing a big part in the team at the moment. I think Matic has dramatically improved under Solskjaer as well. Matic has really improved under Solskjaer. I know he's slow and I have reservations about him, but I think he's really improved under Solskjaer. I think his distribution's improved, he's getting forward more, his passing's improved as well. So I think, a lot of his the areas of his game, a lot of areas of his game, have improved as Nemanja Matic's. So I haven't been impressed with him, quite recently. I thought Ander Herrera had a great game yesterday. I thought Luke Shaw played well, as I said. Ander Herrera played well. I think the majority of the team played well, to be quite honest. So I think Ashley Young was a bit poor. I think he got exploited far too easy on that side of the pitch as well. I think Ashley Young's past it now, to be quite honest with you. He's been a good servant over the years that he has been at Manchester United, Ashley Young. He's been a very good servant over the years. We've been in talks of trying to get him a new contract extension at the club. He's now, 32, 33 years of age, highly experienced. He's won everything here, of course, apart from the Champions League, as Ashley Young. As I said, but obviously still first choice right back, as we all know, is Ashley Young. But yeah, very good player. I think he's still a good player, Ashley Young, but I do think he's past it now. But yeah, as I said, I think he got, exploited too easily. He got exploited too easily yesterday. So I probably would bring Diego Dalot in at that right back position. Obviously he's not highly experienced, Diego Dalot. That's why I did say we need that right hand side of the dressing. We probably do need a right back, to be quite honest with you. But as I said, I think Fellaini could be leaving the club as well because he doesn't fit the new regime. I don't see how he fits in this new regime at Manchester United, to be quite honest with you. And obviously he's not going to be playing that much for Fellaini. He's obviously injured as well. He's Manny and Fellaini. I do think he'll leave Manny and Fellaini. He's been here since 2013. I think Darmian could be leaving as well. Maybe probably in the summer. Maybe. I think Rojo injured. Struggled to get a run of games under his belt. He's had a lot of injury problems since he's come to United, so he hasn't really played that much. Marcus Rojo, Smalling, Jones, I think could be gone next season as well from the club. But yes, I do think players will still leave. As I said, and Solskjaer's preparing to offload Manny and Fellaini. What was I saying regarding Juan Mata? As I said, I think we're in talks of signing him a new 1 year extension at the club as well, and hopefully we can get him a 1 year extension at the club. Juan Mata, very good player. Juan Mata, as I currently said, he's a good player. I think we are going to reduce his wages if we do get him this new 1 year extension on his contract, because we're only willing to put 12 months on his. We're only willing to offer him a 12-month contract extension due to that he's age 30. I think he's nearly 31 now. He's Juan Mata, to quite honest with you, but well proven in the Premier League. We've had him 5 years now, is it, or something like that? He's been in the Premier League and this was including his time with Chelsea as well, and he's won everything in the Premier League apart from the Premier League. He's won everything apart from the Premier League. That's the only thing Juan Mata has not won, as we all currently know, in the Premier League. But hopefully we can get him a new 1 year extension on his contract as well. But yeah, I think we will sort these contracts out. As I said, we'll get a new deal for De Gea, definitely. I think he's demanding wants around £300,000 a week, and his progression's been fantastic. Since he's been here since 2011. Yeah, we will get David De Gea a new contract at the club because he's fully committed to Manchester United. But I do think he will be he'll be back into the team on Tuesday against Burnley with David De Gea. As I said, he'll probably start Martial and Rashford on Tuesday, to be quite honest with you, because obviously they're above Lukaku and Sanchez, as we all know. But yeah, we'll get contract renewals for these players, as we all know. But going back to what I said about Steven Bergwijn, has been mentioned in the press, and reportedly we've instructed scouts to keep an eye on him. So anyway, drop your comments, likes below on the channel, guys. If you do, consider subscribing as always, and take care. God bless, guys, and I'll see you all again very soon. Thank you.